I'm gonna go to Dante first. Dante, what do you think should be the plan for this offensive line to at least be decent this coming Sunday and for the rest of the season?
More getting the ball out quick, more moving Caleb outside of the pocket. I know we want to, he likes to establish himself and he'll dance around in that pocket, but doing more bootlegs, getting them out of there. But I think more than anything, you got to get rid of Nate Davis. Nate Davis got to go. I think that's somebody who has shown you over the past 2 seasons that you can't rely on him, and his play hasn't really ever warranted them keeping him. I know at first we were saying, 3 years, 30 million, that's a steal. He but nah, it's time to end that experiment. And I think more than anything, like you said, it's you can't really do any real major overhaul of your offensive line during the season because that's just not how it works. Good teams are not giving up good offensive linemen. That's the last thing the teams are doing, especially if they're contending. So the best adjustment will be removing Nate Davis from the equation and seeing what you can do with that. I know Blake is on the IL, but he's working his way back. We'll see what they do with that. But then you could possibly talk, maybe swinging Tevin to the other side, or you have to move other people. But I don't think there'll be too many major moves as far as people switching positions. But I do think you just start with removing Nate Davis because he's a cone out there. Like, a lot of people say that as a joke, but no, he was really out there, like I said, like when your controller gets stuck and he was just sliding, like he wasn't doing shit.
It's like when you would play Raw versus SmackDown, and like you have the Rock or somebody, and this nigga just doing this, and you trying to rock out Triple H and shit. That's how Nate Davis be looking online. I think too, man. I understand Bears fans wanting immediate change right now, but also looking from the coaching perspective at the same time. You're not going to do too much off 2 games. I do think if they're not able to put up points against these next 3 defenses, which aren't relatively good, they lead the league in giving points up on the offense. I mean, on the rushing side, Indianapolis gave up like 472 in these first two games. You got the Rams giving up like 350. If there's a problem, they can't move the ball there. Yeah, I'm for big changes. But I'm with you. Nate Davis is the easiest change that we can make. If there's anything that Ryan Poles preached on the offseason, this is going to be a tough roster to make. Everybody's not going to make it. And even when they cut, I think it was Adrian Colbert, he said, man, this was last year, we kept him, but we're trying to win. There needs to be a statement. And it shouldn't just because, he's got a questionable growing or whatever it is. Just cut bait with the nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel is the easiest change. Give Matt Pryor a chance. I don't know what he's going to be. Give him a chance. And if it continues to go away, you might have to move Tevin over to the right. I feel like Tevin has been playing that well because we got to deal with the other niggas in the offensive line. And I think maybe that's bringing his play down a little bit. Put him to the right. Put him over there with Darnell right. And maybe that helps things out. But for me, what I want to see, run the ball. No more shotgun runs. Just straight. Do it old school, bro. Just be stubborn with it. And eventually, I feel that they're going to be able to get some yards. I'm actually I'm not happy the man's hurt, obviously. But I think no Travis Homer will make sure that, you got Khalil Herbert and DeAndre Swift. Give them the ball. Keep running it up the gut because if you get the run game going, it's going to make things easier for Caleb. And more importantly, they play in Chicago. Come after Thanksgiving, you're gonna have to rely on running the football. So it's about the time to get to that right now, and that's what I want to see. We'll take that minor change and getting Nate Davis out of there, putting Pryor in there, and maybe that helps a little bit. That's what I think they should do going forward. And if that doesn't work, then yeah, you find out what other maneuvers you can make. But in the day, it's not going to change overnight. It's going to be kind of a situation when you saw the Jets last year. Jets had 13 different offensive line lineups, I guess you want to call it. And then they paid attention to it all season. Mason made the changes. It looked a lot better last night. I don't know how it looked in the first 2 games, but I think it's going to be something where the Bears are going to have to get by, honestly. Mikey, what do you think that little changes, of any that could be made to at least get through this season, and how early would you make them?
Shit. Well, I think we're going to see it this weekend with Matt Pryor being inserted. Now, before I got on, I was listening to Waddle and Sylvie, and Sylvie had like a little nugget that he was kind of reporting this week in regards to Nate Davis. And basically, Nate Davis's injury is more of a demotion. His injury came up after Matt Eberflus kind of criticized the performance of the O-line earlier this week. So he's actually being told that Matt Pryor will be starting this week. There's actually the possibility of him starting at left guard with Tevin being at right guard. But yeah, what Nate Davis has been doing and what he's been showing us is quiet quitting. And quiet quitting is a term that describes an employee who does the minimum requirements for the job and no more. It can also refer to employees who are chronically disengaged at work. That is Nate Davis. You're seeing it on the field. You're seeing it during practice. And for me, I honestly think they would have cut bait with Nate Davis in August had Ryan Bates not gotten hurt. Because what is the overall model, the culture that Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles are trying to build? They want hardworking guys who work hard in practice, who then carry that over to the games. They want dependable men that show up and do their job. And, there's no group in a football team that needs to be more in sync than the offensive line, especially when you got a rookie quarterback. This dude ain't showed up for OTAs. He did the shit last year. Obviously, last year he had some personal shit going on. But even before that, I've been saying it since we got him. The report out of Tennessee was that Mike Vrabel could not wait to get rid of his ass. Yep, he did not like to practice in Tennessee. They felt that he was not an all-in type of guy. And, so I'm still kind of confused as to how we landed him and how Poles thought, that could be, the GM and the coach's own arrogance thinking we could change that. Sometimes you can't change it, that he is who he is. The issue with me is, obviously Ryan Bates is going to be missing the first 4 games because he's in, he's on IR with the shoulder injury. That has come out to be diagnosed as like an arthritic condition. So that is not going away. That is something that he's going to be dealing with. It's going to be a pain tolerance thing, and Mike, it can fluctuate.
I don't want to cut you off, my brother. I do want to bring up something I kind of feel like it's maybe like been a small pattern when it comes to Ryan Poles. Why he don't be picking up on these injuries before he be trading and signing niggas? Yeah, I kind of feel like this is slowly starting to become a pattern a little bit.
Yeah, it happened with his very first signing with
Ogunjobi.
Oh yeah, with Larry Ogunjobi, with to be the 3 tech, and it's Keenan Allen. We we knew Keenan Allen. You knew.
Everybody know Keenan
Allen. Right, you knew, but this injury that he has right now is not a cleat issue. This is lingering from last year. Another thing that is being reported is that it might be plantar fasciitis. So. If that
question for that, who said that? I know somebody tweeted me that, but I ain't
Sylvie.
seen nothing.
Sylvie said it again.
Said that? Okay.
Sylvie said it again. He said, "Hey, we're hearing it could be something plantar fasciitis, and that there's no position that needs to depend more on their feet, to run routes, to get open and create separation than a wide receiver." So maybe next week, but I think it did sound bad when Matt Eberflus said, early this week that Keenan kind of is where he was last week, and that the hopes were him to practice before the Sunday game, Sunday night, and try to give it a go. That practice never happened. Keenan will not be flying with the team this week to Indianapolis for some personal reasons. Apparently that's personal reasons. Okay. Yeah, Matt Eberflus said today that that's personal reasons. And that they're hoping that they can get him coming back soon. I don't know. I think we'll probably need to brace ourselves they don't want to throw him on IR because they don't want to go ahead and mandatorily miss those 4 games, but kind of let him work through it. But this is, time for Roma Doomsday. So just for me, with the O-line, I think we're going to see some changes. And I think when Ryan Bates is healthy and he's back, I think we're going to go ahead and see the Coleman, Shelton, demotion to center, demotion to the bench, Ryan Bates in that center, and probably Pryor and Jenkins, at the guard spot. And maybe we can kind of see young Amagaji, kind of work in. He's going to eventually need to get some playing time. I know he's not ready yet.
Folks.
Yale folks, Hinsdale folks. And see if he can work in eventually, at guard and get some reps. But this team is what it is. They're going to have to try various combinations. But they got to figure it out, sooner rather than later. But this is number 1 on the priority list. Going into the season, we thought for 2025, defensive end was going to be the number one priority, somebody opposite Montez Sweat, but no, offensive line.
Man, first of all, shout out to Sylvie for reporting shit, man. Shout out to Sylvie, man. He be getting it on, man. I be seeing him at the facility. I will say this too, and as somebody who, when I first even thinking about doing sports media, which I eventually didn't do till like 13 years later, but I would listen to Waddle and Sylvie all the time, and it's kind of cool. Like I go and I holler at them now. That's kind of cool. But shout out to Sylvie. I didn't know that. I know I saw some people tweet me that, but I didn't see any of their reporters. But if Sylvie heard it, then it's probably true. And that's a whole plantar fasciitis. That reminds me of Joe Kim Noah's 2014 season. Now he still did win Defensive Player of the Year that year, but it was like when I think they lost to the Wizards in the playoffs that year. He was on one. Yeah. And you never want your wide receiver to do that. But at the same time, it's a big opportunity for Ron because he said all season, I'm not here to be wide receiver 3. Well, nigga, here's the time. Take up and see what you can do, man. But that to me is a big concern. And especially when Flukes told us on Wednesday, I knew when he told us that this nigga's probably not going to play. And I'm at the point where if he don't get a full weekend, especially since it's been a couple weeks now since practice, he ain't playing. And that's a problem. And I also feel I want to see more Tyler Scott. Now, maybe he's doing stuff in practice that I can't see. Maybe he's not having good practices, but he was real good in camp. And nothing against DeAndre Carter. I actually think DeAndre Carter's been good for what they used him for. He ain't really dropped anything. But I want to see Tyler Scott in those roles. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing I want to see when it comes to the game plan and what Waldron has got this week. Bang, what's your opinion on the way this offense, not just offensive line, but you talked about you had more you blaming Waldron more for the faults. Which way do you want to see the Bears offense attack it this weekend? You on mute, dog. That's the problem.
Damn, man, I hit that button too. Yeah. Damn. I lean more towards the coach when it comes to anything that the coach and the offensive staff put in the right game plan, that they make the right changes. You see, we're having a conversation about Nate Davis and him quiet quitting and him, this injury being a way for him to get him out the lineup and all of that, which shouldn't be the case. Now, granted, I've said on this show and 79 for Hallis and some dude that it takes about 3 to 4 weeks for the offense to get it. Even look at C.J. Stroud and what he said, like quarterback play, for the next 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to start seeing the improvement. And I think that's with the Bears too, especially with the teams that they play. But as the coaching staff, you got to look at those things and say, we need to make the proper adjustments. As far as Nate Davis go, Nate Davis probably shouldn't have been on this team in the first place. And that's indicative on the coaching staff and the front office not being on the same page. I think that is very important to note that Ryan Poles has an idea of what this offensive line should look like, and that shit ain't meshing. And that shit ain't meshed since he been here, and he's an offensive lineman. So you do have to look at that, and you do have to say,
Hold on. I don't quite cut you off, man. I just got to ask. Nigga, are you drinking wine from the top?
I was.
It's only a little bit left. It's only a little bit left.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, nigga, that's a holding, roughing the quarterback. Nigga, if you don't get a glass.
No, it's only a little bit left. So I was, yeah.
Hey,
I was concerned.
Look, I was gonna stop because I didn't know if it was wine or if it was like a weird looking ass water bottle. I didn't know what the hell was. So what the fuck is going on there?
Man. Was that all you had?
But yeah, that's no, you good. But that was it, man. We have an opportunity to get that offensive line in a situation where they can improve, get some confidence. But I just don't see Nate Davis as that person to do it. And he has a track record, and you have to trust a player or a person when you see them doing these things consistently. So I trust that he's not going to be in the lineup.
He said y'all need air. We do. We really do.
Relax,
alcohol is bad for you, kid. Shout out to our producer, Nikhil, the only one who's not legally able to drink. Do not drink. It is not good for you. Anyway, we got a couple more minutes before we bring Courtney up in here. So I'm just going to ask, let's just get right to the predictions. Game picks. I thought long and hard about this game all week. I honestly think it can go either way because I don't know how many points are going to be scored. But I do feel the defense is going to put on a show. Kind of concerned me a little bit when I saw Jaquan Brisker saying that he wants Anthony Richardson to throw it his way. And there's a couple reasons that concern me. One, because I don't know how many picks that Jaquan has, number one. Number two, the Bears ain't at that point where you can start talking like you Legion of Boom in week 3. And then number 3, even though I believe he huffed, Anthony Richardson does have an arm, and if he throws it in the right direction, it can be good. I just wouldn't be talking like that. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me. But I'm gonna go. I believe in the defense. I think the offense is gonna be a little better. I do think they're gonna run the football much better than we've seen. I don't think it's gonna be pretty per se. I'm gonna say Bears win 21-14. I think this will be a very, very close game, but I do believe the offense will help get it done. And I also believe that we get not 1, but 2 Caleb Williams passing touchdowns. He should have 3 right now. I know it don't matter. I know it don't count, but he should have 3 right now. I think he gets 2 on Sunday. Bears win 21-14, and they move on to 2-1. Mikey, how you got this Sunday going?
I got the Bears winning 24-17. It might not be high scoring, but I think that the offense does find some rhythm. I mean, you're going up against an Indianapolis Colts team that's 31st in total defense. They're giving up 400 yards per game. They're 32nd in the yards that they're allowing on the rush, on the ground, 237 rushing yards per game. And even in the passing game, opposing quarterbacks are completing 78.2% of the completion. So I think that this is going to be a really good get-right game. I think that Bears need to attack the run game early and often. That way it'll go ahead and allow plays to be made in the passing game. I don't need to see Caleb throw for 300 yards to be like, oh, I'm good. I just need to see it look a little better. Just hit a couple of the misses that he's had over the last 2 weeks. Kind of big chunk plays, and I'll be fine. But I think this defense will be able to show up, and I think the offense will have a good game. Stay tuned later. This is one of my plays of the week.
Oh, yeah. Mikey's weekend bets coming in the second hour. Bang, how you got this weekend going?
I got the Bears winning 27-10. I think they're going to score a defensive touchdown. I also think that Caleb is going to throw over 225 yards. You're going to see a good run by committee game. You're going to see, Khalil Herbert and Swift have good games on the ground. They will combine to run for about 100 and 150 yards together. The Colts can't really stop the run right now. I got the Colts winning the Bears winning 27-10.
Dante, close us out, man. How you got this weekend going?
It's crazy. I have the exact same score as Bear, 27-10. Bears scored a defensive touchdown. I think Caleb looks good. I think he does throw a touchdown, at least one. But I think this is going to be a game where you really see the offense be able to get some type of flow. The Colts have given up a lot of yards on the ground. I think it might be over 200, but I know they're in like the 175, 180 range so far through 2 games. So a good opportunity to establish the run, really get some of the pressure off of Caleb. So I think at this point he knows he don't have to make every play because he can't do it. Like, it's just not going to happen with this offensive line. So I think this will get him an opportunity to really get into a rhythm, get into a flow. And I think the defense is dominant. I think AR really struggles. So I got 27-10 Bears.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not